Yeah, hi.
Good morning, good afternoon, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
To all of you. And if I'm audible and visible, please show me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Hygiene things for all of you. Thank you so much. Few hygiene things. Request all of you to kindly switch on the cameras. And whichever college you belong to, some of you have joined individually, please put your college name. In absentia, we would not know whether you are an outsider or you are applying for this. Yeah. Thank you so much. Can you present, please? Yeah. Thank you so much for joining and showing of hands. I welcome, probably you are all from 60 plus colleges that who are joining in today. So thank you for this overwhelming response for this summer internship project research associate of YUGMA. So the way we will do is that about 30 minutes to 35 minutes, we will have the presentation, after which we'll take questions. You feel free to ask as many questions, you ask as many questions on the chat window. Our team is going through those questions and they'll be able to answer those questions as many as you want. Yeah. Request all of you to be on mute mode and switch on your cameras. Still, some of you have not switched on the cameras. And individuals without the college name, we may have to remove since we do not know from a safety perspective. So therefore, would request you to put college name and switch on the cameras to say so. Yeah. Yeah. This is good. Thank you so much. For our summer internships, we have received 4,000 applications from 60 plus colleges. Thank you so much for the overwhelming response. Given that we are a 4-year-old startup, I think we are extremely happy with the response. So we received applications from probably about 8 or 9 of the IIMs, including IIM Lucknow, Nagpur, Trichy, Amritsar, Jammu, Visakhapatnam, so on and so forth. XLRI, XIM, Goa Institute of Management, Chetna Institute, MET, Indira Group of Colleges, NIRMA, MDI, FMS, IIFT, IIT, several of them, Bajaj, Jamnalal Bajaj, NMIMS, 4 Institute, BIMTech, IFMR, SDA, Delhi School of Economics, SIMSHRI, TAPMI, TISS, XIME, NL Dalmia, SIBM, NMIMS, host of those institutes. If I missed out some institutes, BML, Bajaj. Yeah, thank you so much for the overwhelming response and, thank you for coming on this pre-placement talk. Yeah. This is my brief background. I'm founder. Okay. All right. Can I request everyone to be on the mute mode, please? Thank you. All right. I'm Dr. Srinivas Chunduru. I'm founder of WeMentor and YUGMA.ai. My brief background. I have been CXO at the Piramal Group. I worked for 22 years in the Piramal Group, where I worked in different capacities as President Strategy, Group CHRO, and CXO at the Piramal Finance business, where I was the P&L head. I was senior advisor and board of directors at the Ola Group of companies. We formed, along with my co-founders, I formed this company in the year 2019. So this is my background. If I were to summarize what I stand for or what our company stands for, I'm a teacher at heart, entrepreneur by choice. So teacher in me is always taking a seat ahead of businessman in me. This is my background. I am an alumnus of NIT Warangal. I am Ahmedabad as well as Goa Institute of Management. This has been my background. Next, please. Who are we? Very quickly. We are one of the fastest growing profitable startup. And you're all MBA students and we are hearing so many stories about startups these days. Let me emphasize, for us, profit is profit after tax. And therefore, we are one of the fastest growing profitable startups in the, in the areas that we start off with. Why did we start this company? Let me just quickly give you one quick, background of that for you to relate. I have been associated personally with a lot of MBA colleges for 20-21 years. Even when I was working in Piramal, I used to teach in several of the colleges out of my passion. 180 hours I used to spend with colleges teaching different subjects. Some of you from Bajaj, NMIMS, SP Jain, Chetna, MET, Indira Group must have seen me teaching you in different point of time, to say so. So about 10 years back, I was in a college where the college told me to mentor the students by doing some mock interviews. As I was mentoring a student, I realized that in less than 3 minutes of time, I realized that the person is not suitable. And my mind told me we should reject such people, and absolutely there is no depth and there is no clarity in what the student is talking. I don't know what the student has learned in 2 years of MBA was my first reaction. Mentor in me told that there must be something good in this person. Let me not reject the person. Let me understand what this person is doing. I asked the person saying that, tell me one thing that you can do differently compared to 1,000 other MBAs in your college and 6 lakh MBAs that India produces at that point of time. And probably 40,000 MBAs in Pune at that point of time. The person confidently told me, you give me any format of retail, I will tell you the business economics of it. I was shocked because very basic questions the person could not answer, but she claimed that she would be able to explain to me the business drivers of retail. I sarcastically smiled in my, in my mind, and I started talking to them saying that, okay, help me understand what is economics of fashion business, what is economics of luxury business. Trust me, what was a 15-minute mock interview went up to 1.5 hours, and the person knew every single bit of retail. That moment I told myself that if you wear a hat of a mentor and start talking to students or anybody, the perspective is different. But the problem is when any individual tries to mentor, you can mentor 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people. We have 25 lakh engineers passing out every year. We have 11 lakh MBAs passing out every year in India. Probably 15,000 engineering MBA colleges in India. It is not physically possible for individuals to mentor. So I decided on that day that we should form a company where we do mentorship at scale. And how can we touch lives of the students and the corporates by actually wearing a hat of mentor? Mentorship is not all goody-goody things, but we are basically saying how can we help people transform their careers. You could be a corporate executive, or you could be an MBA student, you could be an engineering student. So the mission with which we started our company is Mission 2026, to touch the lives and careers of 500,000 learners by enhancing their employability quotient. I want to spend 1 minute to explain. When we say employability quotient, we don't mean interview ready. We mean career ready. Interview ready is all about behavioral and soft skills. Here we are talking about functional skills. Here we are talking about behavioral skills. Here we are talking about leadership skills. Here we are talking about sectorial skills. Here we are talking about financial knowledge, so on and so forth, to say so. Also, a CEO also needs to improve his or her employability skills. A vice president also needs to improve. A student also needs to improve. So the platform that we have created is for anybody and everybody who is a student, or he could have been a corporate executive, or he could have been a CEO in a company, to enhance their employability. That's the business we are into. We believe in mentorship at scale for a college student going up to corporate. We are known as YUGMA. We are known as WeMentor.ai. These are the two companies that we have. Obviously, there is usage of technology, but more than technology, a lot of usage of industry veterans that are part of our team. So with this mission we have started, would we achieve this number? We are attempting. At this point of time, we are about 30,000 students mentorship that we are able to do. And, probably about 5,000-6,000 corporate executives that we mentor. And all our engagements are typically 1.5 years, and it is not one session and do something about it, probably about 18, 20 interventions through the year to say so. So that's the business we are in. Yeah. All right. Next, please. These are my customers. We have 61 active customers whom we work with, including India's largest group, Reliance to unicorns like Ola, to Aditya Birla Group, to Mahindra, to CEAT, to PwC. You think of the companies where we work extensively on mentoring, the senior management of the company, running some of the, deep engagements in the company, bringing in digitalization discipline in the company, AI ML implementation in the company, sustainability, and host of those things. So all we are saying is we are a corporate or you are a student. All of us need to enhance our employability, and therefore we are in the business of helping you enhance your employability. The corporates, the names that you have seen, some of them are reflected over here. Combined market capitalization of all of these companies probably would be 60% of market cap of companies listed in BSE and NSE in that sense. Yeah, next. Some of the engagements and mentorship work that we have done for corporates are these 61 companies, ranging from HR transformation to sales effectiveness to digitalization to sustainability to GTM to AML to design thinking. 275 of us in 4 locations, we engage with these corporates for helping them move to the next level. Next, please. These are colleges that we are associated with. 30,000 plus students and counting, probably 100 plus colleges that we would have worked with in terms of running a campus to career program. These are 1 year to 1.5 years program, which is tightly embedded with placements from that point of view. Many of our corporate customers use our scores, use our data for shortlisting and in terms of filtering the candidates to talk about. And here we are not talking about soft skills. I repeat, I'm not talking about soft skills alone. 3 skills. Functional skills, behavioral skills, sectorial skills, and therefore fair amount of deep work that we do with multiple of the institutes. And I'm happy that many of you who are part of this call probably are part of one institute or other where we have been working on different engagements. Next, please. All right. Now coming, what's the process? Process is very simple. We received 4,000 applications as on date. Okay. We would not shortlist based only on resume alone because we firmly believe that resume can say only a number of things to say so. So we were going to shortlist and finalize our summer interns through a case study competition. All right. So all we are going to do is that we will give you a live case study, details of it, which you will get in your email. You can connect with your placement cells by tomorrow afternoon, but I'm briefing the case study. The case study is about digital strategy of YUGMA, essentially to look at our current stage of digital presence, social media presence. Have we identified our target audience and what do you think our target audience are? What is our product and how do I improvise my product? How do I enhance my digital presence? So this is as real as it can get because day in and day out in our organization, we brainstorm on it, we work with agencies, we work with some of the finest advisors to figure out what do we do. We are throwing the live problem to you to help us solve. Let me just tell you something, and we are very proud of it. When we started the company, we started in 2019, November 20th, 2019, we started. 4 months into the company, there was COVID. 2020, March, you will remember, the lockdown started. Most large companies, big companies, have withdrawn offers from the students in terms of summers and finals. You would probably know it. Your seniors must have told you. They have withdrawn. Every time one student or a college, reached out to us saying that so-and-so company has withdrawn, can you help us? We started taking people. When companies actually stopped recruitment or withdrawn the offer, we said this is the time for us to rise beyond the occasions and take. We have taken 50 summer interns during peak of COVID, which no company has probably done. And amount of work and research that we done, humongous. So we value the contribution of management trainees, and it's not a tick box. These are genuine things that the management trainees have done. Symbiosis was there, IMA was there, IMT Ghaziabad, GIM, XIM, XLRI, we had a couple of interns from NL Dalmia, NMIMS, IMI Delhi, so on and so forth. The kind of products and projects that they work is actually, if I were to say, base of our organizations and the products and technology that we have built. I remember even Delhi, IIT School of Management, Delhi, 6 of them worked on our base product to talk about. So all I'm trying to say is that here is a company which values the contribution of summer trainees, gives you live project, where we firmly believe that we are what we are today as one of the fastest growing profitable company because of the contribution done by some of the finest summer trainees during the COVID period. So year after year, we keep taking summer interns, and we are really thankful for the amount of goodwill and amount of work done by summer interns. So this is a real project, which as founder and my co-founders, we struggle. We keep debating. Our team keeps on working. We do humongous amount of research amongst ourselves to solve the problem. We will throw this as part of the competition. So this case study, if I were to tell you, we are mentorship at scale. YUGMA is our product for students. V-Mentor is our products for corporates. India has 25 lakh engineers passing out, give or take 10 lakh MBAs, PGDMs, postgraduates passing out. 35 lakh students, and if you go to BBA, etc., add another 50 lakh students at graduation level. 1 crore plus students require mentorship, and therefore physically doing it has its own limitation, and therefore technology and digital presence is the way to go about. But given the nature of Gen Z, the amount of involvement which is required, the amount of counseling which is required cannot be a pure online method, and pure online methods have failed miserably, and we have seen enough examples in the country. So it has to be a brick and mortar method. So the case study is all about how do we use tools of digitalization to stand out and help 1 crore Indians to build their dream careers to talk about. That's the case study. We'll give you a lot more contour and data as we keep speaking about it. Yeah, next slide, please. The structure of the competition. We will send you this presentation. You can click pictures, absolutely fine. What is the contour of the presentation? First round is called foundation round, and we are opening this for all the students. If all 4,000 are taking, most welcome. If some of you are not taking, good luck. First round will be basically a Google form, which we will share with you as form of a link, or you can find that in our website, yugma.ai, where we'll send you the link. You answer 5 to 7 questions, which requires a little bit of application of mind, which will require a bit of research for you to kind of share with us how will you approach in this case study? How will you approach on a practical reality? What is your perspective about employability quotient in India? What's your perspective about how edutechs have failed and how edutechs can succeed in that sense, to say so? These questions give us an indication of depth of your thought, application of concepts of product management and usage of technology, talks about understanding of your go-to-market strategy, talks about the strategic thinking that you get in. These are simple 5-6 questions that we would have. You have to fill up those and submit that. This is simple Google form, which is available both in front end and in our website, to say so. Now, basis what you write as your solution. And we expect you to do a little bit of research because it's a 3-day time we are going to give you. We expect you to do a little bit of research to talk to a few people present and stuff. Based on the answers we receive, 4,000 entries that we get, we will go through each of these entries. Panel of us would go through each of these entries. As I said, as an organization, we are MBA summer interns built organization. And I acknowledge the fact that we would not have been what we are without the summer interns building beautiful products and beautiful product ideas for us in the past. So therefore, we would go through each of it, each of the research that you do, because we get in the Excel sheets in the back end and in our website. Once we go through, we'll take 5-6 days. We will shortlist 50, 75, if better answers come in, about 100 of the students, purely based on what we read from there. Now, I know that last 1 year, ChatGPT has been very active. And many of you probably understand ChatGPT much better than I would understand. But having said that, you must know that all the questions are real questions. So we would have ourselves tried out in ChatGPT several combinations. So if you have too much of a ChatGPT answer, it's very easy for us to know, because day in, day out, we do this for our living. And therefore, I would urge you to have an original thought process, original research, original strategy, to say so. So we would shortlist about 75 to 100 of them, probably 50, 75. If there are some more better ones, we will do that. Those who have been shortlisted, some of the CEOs, finest CEOs of the country, we would have mentorship session for them, half-day kind of session, 2-3 hours, essentially to tell them how to approach into a market research, go-to-market strategy, product strategy, so on and so forth. How do you go into that? We will do a mentorship session. For those shortlisted 750 to 75 students that we talk about, we would have that round 2 for them, where we give time after the mentorship session, 2-3 days time. I'll go through the deadlines, wherein those students have to make a detailed presentation. There'll be a template shared with you, high-level template shared with you. You have enough time for doing research, go deeper into that, and send your presentation to us saying that if you were to put your buck on the table, what would the approach be? So this will no more be a Google round, Google form round, would be a detailed presentation round in terms of Canva you can use, Word you can use PowerPoint, but it shows clarity on your strategy, shows your execution plan, talks about what's your thought process, what is your market segmentation, so on and so forth, which tools are you using it. That's the second round. Once we have the presentation, third round starts off, where we are going to pick up 10-15 students to make a presentation to us. This presentation would be in front of all 3 founder and co-founder and couple of industry CEOs, including a CEO of a very large bank, ex-CEO of a very large bank, a known bank, including a CEO of an FMCG company, so on and so forth, who would evaluate those 10-15 finalized presentations given by you, where we will give you 10 minutes to 15 minutes to present and answer us question and answers. The selected students, 3 to 5 of them, would do summer internship with us. Yeah. For sake of clarity, again, I'm repeating, no shortlisting based on resume. They'll give you a case study, absolute live case study, which any digital marketing company or any strategy person, any operations person, any MBA worth their salt would love to do. It is working with us, and divide into 3 phases. Phase number 1, open for all, 4,000 entries. I already read the names of the college. 60 colleges have responded so far to us. Some of them have several campuses, so probably 75. From there, we pick up anything between 50 to 100 kind of stuff, depending on the depth of your answers, research, etc. From there, we mentor you and ask you to do further research. From there, we pick up the top 15. You make a presentation. 3 to 5 of you would get summer internship with us. That's the process. So you have to earn your position over here. And therefore, the ratio of the competition is probably 1:1,000. Obviously, the scale is different, but almost as good as CAT. 2.5% of you is the, 0.25% actually is the percentage of the people who will make it for it. Yeah. Next round, please. So what is in it for you? It's very important. 1, by participating in this competition, you are actually devising a real digital marketing strategy for a profit-making startup, which has got envious set of investors, if I can say so, on the board. Top performers to be absorbed as summer interns with a stipend of 25,000 rupees per month, whichever 5 months, 3 months, 2 months, whatever your course says, we will absorb you for that. Once you are absorbed as a summer trainee, we would have projects, and I'll describe those projects in a minute from now. Absolute real projects. And you have an opportunity to work with the founding team, including myself, directly on this project. Through the project, you would have mentorship from CXOs and industry experts to make sure that whatever little gaps that you may have would actually be bridged. It could help you in terms of defining what is strategy, which you would have read in your textbooks, which your professors must have taught, some projects you would have done. This is real life. And finally, we will implement most of your work. So which means this is one of the rare occasions where whatever you have thought about is not for marks alone. but essentially at an execution level. Goes without saying, the students who make it to this have a high chance of pre-placement offer, assuming that their performance in the summer internship is pretty good in that sense to say. Yeah. Timelines, pre-placement talk. Today we are doing it probably 2nd February, which is the pre-placement talk we are having. Tomorrow you get the details. 3rd, by afternoon, evening, you will get the details. You have 3 days time, 6th of February, to submit your basic research for the first round. You can take pictures of this or screenshots. We will take 5 days to evaluate top 50, 100, whatever numbers are good. We will need 5 days because you will appreciate that 4,000 applications, if you have to go into details of it, will take 5 days. On 11th, we will announce the shortlist college-wise. We will put that in multiple media as well and also talk to your placement teams. On 13th, we will have, by 13th, we will have a mentorship session and also expect detailed presentation. So between 11th and 13th, we'll help you polish, we'll help you research, we'll help you find out what more can be done and expect you to submit the top reports by 13th. By 16th, we will go through all your presentations, 50, 100, whatever that number is. We will pick up the top 10, 15. And on 17th, you will present to us. The 15 people will be getting an opportunity to present in front of who is who of the country to say so. And we would pick up our summer interns from there. While we are not fixated on this, but 3 to 5 is the number of summer interns that we would have. Yeah. While I acknowledge a lot of colleges, I seem to have forgotten Wellinger. I saw the name just now. So Wellinger is another institute where we have been associated for a while with them, Mumbai-based college and Bangalore-based. Welcome. So these are the deadlines. So by 17th of February, we would have the list of the people. Bennett University, thank you so much, Vishwajit, for joining in. So these are the different deadlines that you need to manage, and absolutely we would not change the deadlines, which means I'm sure some of you may have exams, some of you may have something. You should appreciate that 60 colleges, 4,000 students, we can't be too flexible on the deadline. 9-10 p.m. of whatever date we mention is the deadline, right? Like we are doing this first pre-placement talk, we have series of pre-placement talk because we could not accommodate all colleges in one go. So we are having 3 pre-placement talks. By tomorrow, we finish it and we send across the day, the forms and links to you for submitting it. Next slide, please. Eligibility, you should be at 23, 25. We got requests from half a dozen colleges that can the second year students participate because they have some projects to be done. We are looking for full-time summer interns and therefore 23, 25 batch only. Marketing, strategy, operations, or general management, whichever areas you belong to. We do find every year that some of the students participate with inappropriate information, which means they don't belong to the set of colleges, they don't come through placements, etc. We reserve the right to cancel the validity of any student where we find that some of the data that they presented is not authentic in that sense to say. We have all the, according to us, the real heroes who help this placement process is the placement teams and committees. And therefore, we would respect that. And therefore, we would have all our correspondence and everything connected with this competition of summer internship routed through placement cells. No individual applications or requests would be considered. It has to be through the placement cells. We have given you timelines. Some of them are tight timelines. Night 10 o'clock of that day is the deadline. Under any circumstances, we would not extend it. So my humble request to all students, all placement friends, all directors of placements, some of the professors, directors who are on the call, that please do not ask us for any extension whatsoever, because a large process like this with 4,000 people, not many companies have it. It's a humble request that we would not be able to, have any extension whatsoever. It's a single participant competition. Some of you have asked, can we do it in pairs or 3 people, 4 people? No, this is not a group competition because summer projects are individual. Participant will need to register to participate in this competition, which you have already done. So this is open only for the people who have participated. We have closed the nominations on 31st at 6 p.m. So whoever is registered, only they can participate in this. Whoever is the registered participant will receive an invitation for the foundation round, which will go to the placement teams, and your placement teams will share. Placement teams are in touch with our team, Eden, Tisya, Sanika, etc. So if they have any clarifications, our team will be happy to answer these questions. Yeah. Now, if I get 5 or 3 or whatever number that we talk about, if we get so many of summer interns, we call them research associates, because summer interns, from my perspective, internship itself is misused or misinterpreted. We genuinely believe whoever comes as summer intern is actually a research associate who adds tremendous value to the company. Kind of projects we are looking at, I'm just sharing that project. Project number 1 is developing effective go-to-market strategy for our brand YUGMA to elevate its presence in tier 2, tier 3 cities. Over the last 1 year, we did research and we identified 17 emerging cities in India, where we feel that apart from NCR and Mumbai and Pune and Hyderabad and Chennai and Calcutta, the main cities, these are the 17 cities which are likely to emerge in terms of education hubs in the next 5 years period of time. While we have identified, we are not clear on the strategy. So one of the projects would be to work with me to identify the strategy to go to the tier 2, tier 3 cities. What should be our product? What technology we do? What's the business model we do? What's the GTM for us? What's the offering? How would you create an ecosystem? What's the quality measures? What's the competition? That's the first project we would offer to whoever is selected. The second part of the project is in-depth analysis of opportunities, challenges, and competitive landscapes. At a pin code level, who is the competition? What are the substitutes? What is the offering? Where do we position? What's the BMC matrix? What's the Porter 5 force? Most of those things about competition, so that we know where we are and what's the value proposition. The third project is around special projects around new market development and new product development. When I say product, it just need not be technology product. It could be our offering. It would be our methodology of offering, offline, online, what goes online, what should be the assessment, what should be the product, what kind of, a student appeal should be there, what kind of assessment should be there, what kind of corporate should be roped in. It's essentially a complete product strategy for us. The last one is proposing innovative solution to enhance the overall digital presence of brands we mentor and YUGMA.ai in that sense. So if you look at all the 4 projects that we are going to offer, or probably 5th also will come, is essentially around how do I transform my business from where we started 4 years back. This year, probably we would be 15 times larger than where we were in 4 years period of time. Whatever our first year revenue was, we would be 15 times of that at this point of time. We have been growing at 6 times, 7 times every year in that sense, to say so. So we have reached a particular stage where if we really have to do a lead growth and become a national figure rather than 7, 8, 10 cities that we are present in today, how do we go about that? How do we structure? What's the strategy for that? What's the go-to market for that? So an absolute real nuanced strategy project is what we have in terms of our offering, to say so. Yeah, next please. Now I open up for questions. Before that, a couple of obvious things. Don't worry whether it is going to be work from home, office. Depending on which cities you belong to, we have offices in 4 cities. So we will figure out all those logistics. Don't overly worry on the logistics part of it. Thank you so much for your patience. I'll request Tisya to stop sharing so that, I can take the questions. I would like people who are on YouTube Live, some of you are there and some of you are here, ask the questions. I find a lot of colleges, the placement cell, and they are seated at a central place. So I do understand that all of you may not be able to ask questions. Please ask your placement person who is facilitating this session to ask questions on your behalf. My request would be to put it on the chat window. If I am not clear, I will be asking those questions for you to unmute. The reason behind that is we have got about 30 minutes for the questions. My next pre-placement talk starts immediately after this session, to say so. So I'll take up the questions. Thank you, Jyotika from DTU, for joining us. Over to you guys for the questions. Would encourage the placement teams to ask those questions with the people who are seated, because so many people are there, everybody cannot type. So happy to take those questions. SIBM Bangalore, please go ahead. Meanwhile, others can start typing their questions. SIBM Bangalore, please go ahead, please. Unmute yourself and ask us questions, SIBM Bangalore.
Come forward. Hello, sir. This is Somesh Gupta from SIBM Bangalore.
Hi, Somesh, go ahead.
Sir, I would like to ask, we are changing as the environment is changing. Companies are opting for more and more online courses for their employees. So, sir, how is vMentor, how is YUGMA different from other competitors like LinkedIn Learning?
Sure. Very good question, and thank you so much. So I think 3 parts, I would say, difference, and the reason for our growth has been that. One, I think, who are the people who are actually behind this, who are actually sitting with the students or sitting with the corporates and working. These have been CXOs of large companies who would have managed $1 billion plus kind of a revenue, to say so. 275 of the industry experts, many of them work full-time in that sense, are the set of the people. And therefore, it is not just about the course content, but a conversation-driven methodology. That's one part. The second part, here the focus is not just on one skill or half skill. It's a comprehensive program to say that how would you improve your behavioral skills? How would you improve your sectorial knowledge? How would you improve your functional knowledge? So a combination of host of those things to talk. Okay. And probably the third way is our model itself is slightly unique. We almost, I mean, though we are, how do I put it? We are a growing company and a lot more to do. As they say, so little done, so much to do. We follow a very good microfinance model. So assume that in small village in Tamil Nadu, not village, small town in Tamil Nadu, we have a customer. Indeed, we have a customer in a small town, an MBA college, top 100 college. Now, the students need a lot of support, not just online, because there has to be conversations and stuff. The model we work is we would have local mentors in every possible pin code in India. We would have senior mentors in the nearest city, right? So, for example, let's say Hubli is the place where, a college is there. We would have Hubli mentors, we would have Bangalore mentors, we would have Mumbai mentors. So a microfinance market to sit with the students, to work with them. And the way we work is that students are not bodies who are rattling something in an examination and then an interview, but we believe that students have a soul and they have 40 years career ahead of them. So a lot of tools to figure out what is that they are looking for. So in a nutshell, it is people who have ran businesses who are doing this out of passion. Second part is the model is unique, not very easy to replicate because of the microfinance model, to say so. Third is the completeness of the program, to say. I'll be a fool to say that we have no competition. Every pin code, there will be so many unorganized and organized people, but at a scale, not many of the people could do that. Thank you so much for that question, SIBM Bangalore. I will, some questions my team has already answered. So Nancy Singh, I'll take up your question. Nancy Singh, I don't know which college you, okay, DMS, IIT Delhi, wonderful college. And 2 years back, 3 years back, some of your students have actually helped us build our technology as well. I remember that. So thank you for that contribution. The biggest challenge that we have, I'll divide into 2 parts, from student perspective. And the second perspective, I'll talk about from corporate perspective. From a student perspective, the biggest challenge that we find is denial. Okay, I'm being very honest on that. Denial means quite often, both colleges and students would feel that there is adequacy in what we are doing, and this so-called industry institute gap is actually theoretical. As long as I get a job and my break-even is 1 year or 2 years, I am happy about it. I think that's the biggest challenge. Today, if India INC or Bharat INC, as we say, has inefficiencies or has got opportunity to be much more productive and a prosperous country, the biggest challenge is contentment to say that if I get a job, I am okay with it. But I guess the 40 years of career ahead, what do we plan for it? I think installing that into the mindset of the students is biggest challenge for us. That's one part. The second part, from a corporate perspective, essentially is that not many of the corporates invest a lot of money and time in terms of continuous upskilling, in that sense, to say so. Corporates believe you are an MBA from a decent institute, you have 5 years work experience, you have come, life is going on. But the fact is, world is changing every 2 years. So I guess readiness of the corporate from an investment perspective is the second challenge. Which is a challenge, not so far, but we are going to struggle from next year, if I were to say, is the scattering. If I were to tell you, 15,000 professional colleges are in India, engineering, MBA, PGDM, all of those put together. In 15,000, major cities, the top 15 cities, probably has only 3,000 colleges. I have 12,000 colleges spread across 700 pin codes in India. Now, if you're so widespread and the model itself is a combination of technology and physical, you really need a robust model to work on that, because reaching to the third tier city is where the challenge lies in. So I guess these are the challenges, and thank you so much, IIT Delhi School of Management, asking me that question. Okay. Himanshu Tanwar, which college God knows? Can you please help with the market segment and targets, and what are the expansion plans? I think I've answered this in reasonable detail, but I'll repeat. Engineering, MBA, BBA, those are our student markets, but we don't do B2C. We are a pure B2B company, which means we work with colleges, and through the colleges, we work with students. The second segment we have is corporates, where we work with the corporates and help their people to become much more, enhance their employability quotient and skill sets to talk about. We are very proud to say, we run India's largest HR academy, much ahead than the most multinational companies in India are, where more than 3,500 HR people go through a structured 4-month program to enhance their skills. And these are all people at senior manager, AGM levels, etc. So those are some things that we do with corporates. So either a corporate executive through the companies, or professional degree students like engineering, BBA, MBA, PGDM, that's our student segment. Yeah. IFMR, GSB students, how does the company approach overcoming challenges? I mentioned about that. I wish I had answers to those questions, because we are facing those challenges and continuously working. But I think 2-3 principles. One, come what may, we have set a set of values for us. Whatever the situation is, we don't compromise on those values. For example, if a college comes to us and say, do this shortcut for us, we would say, thank you so much, good luck to you, right? The reason is, it's a B2B2C business. While college is our principal customer, our ultimate objective is student. How can I enhance employability of 500,000 learners, students, or corporate executives? Whatever we do does not help the students in soul searching and moving to the next level. It's all theoretical what we do, right? YouTube has most of the answers. The ChatGPT has answers, but they don't have wiseness. So therefore, I think adhering to our values is what we have done. I won't name in one of the emerging colleges in emerging cities. We said no to them for a business which could have actually been 5% of our revenue, to say so, because we found some unethical practices in the college. I think that's one strategy. Second strategy, I think, is we are quite agile organization. So which means at any point of time, apart from what we are doing, we are in continuous hustle to find out what are the new opportunities. How can I serve tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, tier 4 cities, what new programs, what new technology. I think these are 2 things. Hustling every day to find what is the new market. And second thing, I think, is all about adhering to the values. Thank you. I am Bodh Gaya. How does the mentor differentiate itself in EdTech sector? I've already mentioned about that, to say so. I think I don't want to call ourselves an EdTech company because we are not a pure online company. In the next 50 years, I don't see we to be a pure online company, because in this world, there is no lack of information. If you just Google simply that on AI and ML you want to do a course, there are 246,000 courses available. I don't think information is anything less in this world. Okay, and therefore you can't have uniqueness in your information, to say so. It is your approach, it is your end goal, it is the tools that we use. So therefore, I think all I'm trying to say is that content is not the king over here, but the business model that you talk about in that sense, to say so. I think second part is also depth of understanding of the business. These 60 companies, and probably by the month we keep adding 1-2 companies into our portfolio. They don't come to us because, we had some glorious past. I don't think so. They come to us because they believe that we have deep understanding of the business and ability to transform and run businesses. Now, just imagine when any of my mentor, 275 of them, is sitting in front of a college student. College student is looking for somebody who is current. My mentor is somebody who is working with 4, 5, 6 companies to solve serious business problems. What more current knowledge can come in? So I guess that is the value addition, our ability to understand business. I know some of you may not understand Hindi, but I will tell you, one of the things we go and ask the CEO or board members on day one of our engagement with a college is, "Dhandhe mein paisa kidhar hai?" Where is the money in the business? I think that's the core principle that we follow to kind of do. Yeah. All right. Chetna College, what qualities and technical skill sets are looking in the candidates? Wonderful. Thank you so much, Chetna College. Many of you may not be aware, when we started our company, our first office was inside Chetna College, 4th floor. They have been kind enough to give us space in their office. So in many ways, you can say that we are incubated college of Chetna. I'm personally associated for 15 years with the college. So thank you so much, Chetna, for incubating us and making us into what we are today. So thank you so much. In terms of students and quality, etc., I think you know what we are looking at. We are looking at people who have got that enterprising skills. We are basically saying that tomorrow, if God tells you, take this $1 million, take this 20 crore rupees, and you were to set up this business, how would you hustle to do that? How are you going to find out answers to questions? How are you going to go and establish the business? We are looking for entrepreneurial quality in you, which means, do you have an ability to work in gray areas, solve problems which are very different than each other, and be a quick learner in that sense, to say so. Having said that, absolute impeccable research skills in terms of primary research, in terms of secondary research, in terms of understanding business models, in terms of understanding drivers of business, that's what we are looking at. So in short, if you have that entrepreneurial quality, you may not land up as an entrepreneur. If you have those qualities, great. If you have ability to work in gray areas where picture is not clear, you're still trying something, great. Deep understanding of business, ability to read an annual report of a company in 2 hours, 3 hours, appreciate that. That's what we are looking at. Thank you, Chetna. Okay, Nancy, my God, a lot of questions. Okay, Dheeraj Kumar, what will be the KPIs of final interview? Dheeraj, this defeats the purpose. A startup and KPIs don't get along with each other. As they say, north of India, 36 ka gada hota hai. Startups thrive only because they hustle and try out in different areas to talk about. So there can't be any fixed KPIs, but mota, I'll tell you broadly, if I were to tell you, we would talk about, there are 4 different projects. What is the clear-cut strategy of implementing the solutions that come out to solve the problems that we have already explained to you? Okay, this is not an established project. This is a core strategy project, which means it is not 1 + 1 = 2. It is 1 + 1 is infinite. So you'll have to come with all of the things. So the way we measure the success of your project is, do you have an ability to directionally tell us where are we moving? What are some of the challenges? What are some of the experiments? What should be our roadmap ahead of it? I think that's the KPI in that sense, to say so. Yeah. Tap me. Again, a beautiful campus in Manipal. Could you please elaborate on? Okay. So I think I would suggest you to go through. If I tell you what is the ideal solution, then that's the answer to the question, which I don't have. So what we are looking for in the first round is, take a deep breath, understand what vMentor does, understand what YUGMA does, understand the segment, talk to a few people, come with your thought process. That's what we are looking at in the first round, in that sense, to say so. In the first round, we are only looking at your thought process. What is your logic, the way you are working, not working? How do you, if a problem is thrown at you, what's your approach towards that? All of that stuff. We are not looking at a solution in the first round. Even at the end of the project, it is highly unlikely the nature of the problems that we are solving here have been in existence from mankind, has been coming in. I mean, target marketing, go-to market is not solvable problems in 2 months period of time. What we are looking for is directionally, are you moving there? Are there small experiments you are living with us? I think that's what is being spoken about. Yeah, thank you, Takvi. Placements is which placements? Oh, that's Nasik Sion, Symbiosis Institute of Operations. Beautiful program on operations and agriculture. What are corporate strategies? All right, complex question, Mukul, but essentially, as I said, that we have 275 mentors. Average experience of a mentor would be 15 to 20 years. We believe a lot in terms of standardization and customization, which means each of our mentor is used to a methodology, certified with us, goes through a lot of train-the-trainer programs, goes through a certain way of working. Everybody has individual style in that sense. So outcomes are much more productive. And the fact that there are 18 to 20 occasions over 1.5 years where a mentor and mentee sit with each other and have this conversation, use tools, etc. The change can also be measured in that sense. Yeah. Simsri is Sydenham, is it? Yeah, Simsri is Sydenham. In market analysis, how do I collect the data? What type of data? I would suggest that you go through the case study, you would know on your own. Because if I tell you the answer, that's the answer to the question itself. So my friend in Simsri, please go through the case study when we send it and figure out. Yeah. DTU, TNP, Delhi Technology University, thank you. Is different tools allowed for the assignment like Python, ML? You can use at a later stage, not at the stage one. Stage one is to know what is your thought process. Where do you apply business knowledge? So there, Python, ML may not be most appropriate in that sense. But as you're doing deeper research, you will be welcome to use SPSS, Python, ML, whatever is useful in that sense. Himanshi, God knows which college is that. How does a research contribute to the vision? I've already mentioned about that. There are 4 different projects that we talk about. One is go-to-market into tier through tier 3. One is digital strategy. The third project is product management, and the fourth project is around strategies of getting into rural India, etc. So specific project would be allocated to one intern, and they work with one of us, either with me or my co-founder, etc., directly, and come out with the strategy. Again, question from Tap Me. Thank you. Okay, eagerly looking. Harsh from IIT Mundi. How does V-Mentor measure the impact of the solutions? Very good college. Very good question, Harsh, on that. So you would have different matrices. So if I were to take college, because that's what you associate with, I'll give you only college at this point of time. It is percentage conversion. So if 100 interviews are being conducted, how many are getting converted? Remember that a lot of companies use our scores. So we do have access to the data. One of the companies recently, an automobile company, which has used our data to shortlist and finalize students, the conversion was 4%, which means 100 interviews, 4 people got selected. Okay. 185 people were to be selected. The company, actually probably close to 6,300 people they have interviewed to arrive at 185 to talk about. Yeah. So how do we improve that percentage conversion? That's one. Second thing that we look for is what is the percentage of alpha placements? So if the average of the college is 15 lakhs, what percentage of the people have got 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs packages? Has it moved over a period of time or not? That's the second thing that we look for. Third thing that we look for is in the so-called stable recruiters, which means there are recruiters who have been coming to your campus for last 20 years, 10 years. How many vice presidents plus from the college? Because you're talking about building a career, not just interview in that sense to say. So these are some output matrices that we look at. There are a host of input matrices on effectiveness of the classroom, ROI of classroom, etc. But those are input measures. Similarly, from a corporate perspective, we would have very, very specific measures for each of the interventions that we do with the corporate. Yeah. Sometimes some of these interventions are around market share, market cap, productivity of the people, right? A ratio of the service function to the overall number of people in the organization, so on and so forth. Yeah. Okay, Mandi ho gaya hai. 1 second. DTU, do you remember? We'll come back to the Jyotika as and when students are shortlisted based on the first round. Those 100 students, we would have a separate mentorship session. We will talk about what skills I'm expecting you to have, what knowledge you to have specifically around that. Okay. SIBM Nagpur, thank you. Chetna, thank you. I am Jammu. Thank you. ISM, IIT, ISM. Similar feature of the product mentoring students on. Sure. So, I think 2, 3 things work. Pulse of the customer is pure online brands will not work in India for the segment that we are talking about. Because it's not just about knowledge. As I said, you go and Google AI ML, 256,000 or 246,000 articles and resources you will get. I don't think information hungry the market is. The market is wiseness hungry, which comes through conversations, which comes through knowledge, which comes through functional understanding, behavioral understanding, which requires a lot of offline muscle apart from online muscle in that sense to say so. So I guess what worked for us is this beautiful combination of microfinance model supplemented with some bit of technology in that sense. Had we been a pure online company with a lot of interesting things and knowledge to put up, trust me, I would not have been sitting here in front of you giving this pre-placement talk. By now, we would have probably been in a difficult situation in that sense to say so. So I think the model worked out well for us because we spent humongous amount of time in terms of talking to students, understanding their pain point, talking to placements, understanding their pain points, etc. Even today, many of us, including me, spend 100 days in a B school, talking to students, teaching students, understanding the pulse, talking to recruiters, bringing recruiters on board, talking to the campus recruiters, talking to the placement teams to get the pulse of what's happening over there and continuously evolve the product. I think that worked for us. 47 is an overstatement, and I'm sorry, somebody from Chetna, whoever has asked him. I'm giving my blunt answer. I don't think more than 20% of MBAs or 10% of engineers are employable in India from a standard employability perspective, if you go through at a very high level in that sense to say so. So I guess the data is not right. I think that's where the golden opportunity for India INC or Bharat is lying over there. Here is a set of 1 crore people passing every year. Here is an industry hungry for good set of people. Can we marry them? Trust me, every corporate we work with, throw a problem at us. Sir, I want 500 brilliant MBAs from 70 colleges. I'm not getting it. Can you help us? As I speak to you, on behalf of YUGMA, my colleague Faisal is there. He's carrying 225 positions of management trainees, MBAs, engineers, which our corporate clients has come to us saying, we went to colleges, we can't find good students. Can you help us bring that? All right. So I guess somewhere you have supply, somewhere you have demand, somewhere there is expectation. If we bridge that, imagine if the employability goes up from 10-20% to 70%. Imagine the quality of corporate INC in India. Imagine how the country can prosper. I think that's the golden opportunity from our side to say so. Yeah. Any last question from time perspective? One more question. Thank you, SIBM Bangalore. In the past, we did have 5-6 interns from SIBM Bangalore as well. Okay, placements. If you ask me, specialization in an MBA is a little bit theoretical at this stage in that sense to say so. We have told you the projects. All projects are around strategy. Strategy requires operations. Strategy requires a bit of understanding of finance. Strategy requires market research. Strategy requires usage of tools. Strategy requires corporate planning. So it's a combination of all of them to say so. Already I've told you I am Bodh Gaya. I don't know if you have missed out to say so. You won't get an opportunity in many companies where you are working with founder or co-founding team who have got reasonable track record in the corporate INC. Not many companies you would have a battery of CEOs sitting with you and mentoring you. Not many companies would probably give you real projects. Let me put it this way. We will anyway solve this problem. So this is not problem created to give as a project to an MBA side project. This is a real problem we are struggling on a daily basis, and you can't get better than that. Of course, a small stipend of 25,000 rupees a month, that we give to the students. And if we like the work that you do in your thought process and your attitude and your aptitude, there would be a pre-placement offer. Oh, a lot of competition is there. MET. Every pin code you would have 1,000 mentors who are individuals, unorganized sector. Okay, they are also competition. There are a host of companies like LinkedIn, to some extent, Unstop, to some extent, Career Canva, to some extent, so on and so forth, Sinclair, and so on and so forth. A lot of companies are there. We have reasons to believe that we are among the top 5 in India from a number perspective. There's no official data, but based on our own understanding, in less than 4 years, we have reached to top 5 in India. All right. So thank you so much for coming on to this. Please talk to your placement team. Tomorrow evening, you will get the thing. Attempt for that. I look forward for your contributions. And I must say, Zenzi rocks. So, as a company, quite a bit of strategy. We would love you to co-create with us and take a pride that you have helped the company co-create and become a company to what we are at this point of time. Thank you so much. God bless, and look forward for your responses to the pre-placement talk. Thank you so much, guys.